Guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Dairoku. Continuing Makoto's route, we're in Chapter 5 now, and it's an incident in the real world, or something like that was the name of the chapter. I forget exactly what it was, but anyway, some real world incident. Maybe that was it. Anyway, so we're probably going to the real world with Hajun. Or he is going to cause an incident, or the Aki that's killing people is causing, I don't know, one or the other. Anyway. I really made a mistake back there. I wasn't a perfect human. As long as I was alive, I'm sure I'll have slip-ups here and there, but I wish I could just take back what I told him. Anyway, I'm gonna be careful not to make the same mistakes, but it's like... It's funny that she's kind of overthinking this, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh no, he's gonna be upset. It's like... It's actually kind of cute. You're like, I wish you were going. And then it's like, oh, fuck, I feel bad because, like, then it makes it... I mean, I get it, because he doesn't want to go. He's never gone, and then you're like, I wish you were going! Oh, shit! That makes him feel bad because he doesn't ever go, or, you know what I mean? And I don't want to, like, pry as to why, but it's kind of like, but you're also telling him, like, man, I wish it was going to be you. Oh. It's kind of cute that you want him to be there, you know what I mean? Anyway. I was reflecting on our earlier conversation as I completed my admin work when... So, no progress at all? Nah. I called in the evening, but no response. I think they've been running around, but... Oh, hey, you're back. Hey, you two. Yakumo and Seimi were in the middle of conversation as they came in. We were talking about the situation at the first. They haven't reached out to us since then. Still don't know if the culprit's an Ayakashi. It's hard to imagine it'd take them this long with my brother on the team. If Hajun's going to the real world tomorrow, I'd like to clear up any doubts, but... I know, right? Wait, did the report that you two were going to... Wait, did I report to you that we're going to set out tomorrow? Knowing Hajun, anyone would assume it's tomorrow. Ali predicted as much. There he goes again. Whoa, tomorrow, huh? I hope he doesn't have any run-ins with the Aki. Well, no. The problem we're having is that we can't find it. We'd be lucky if someone ran into it. I hate having it loose in the wild. Well, yeah, that's true. But if Hajun finds a hot-blooded Ayakashi, who knows what he'll do? I shudder to think. He has a point. We still hadn't found the culprit, and we could end up bumping into the Aki in the real world. Like, of all the fucking places and all of fucking Tokyo, the Aki's gonna be at the fucking game stores? What are the fucking odds? If we can determine it's an Aki, we can call for support, but we may also have to battle. I was aware of the possibility, but hadn't seriously considered the chance that a battle could break out between the Aki and Hajun. If Shuten or Ibaraki go with Hajun, I feel like it's just adding fuel to the fire. He has risen to the top before. He knows what has to be done. You think so? And then having Hajun with us is a good thing? Well, I guess there's a chance his love of battle might make him difficult to control. What?! Oh, there Seimi goes. He's messing with Yakumo. If everything must be okay if he's being like this. Chief Tokiwa must have considered all of this when he gave Hajun approval to go to the real world. Unless... I'm just saying. Tokiwa could be shady AF. So, what I'm wondering about is... Whatever was out there, whether it was an Aki or something else... Yakumo, just in case, we should buy some roasted soybeans in the real world. What are you talking about? Oh, ready to fight, eh? Make sure you pick up some extra seals at General Affairs. Can we please not assume we'll have to battle? In order to make up for my comment earlier, I want to at least honor Akuro's advice. I don't think he'd fuck with us, the other two, absolutely. But could you imagine we chuck beans and the thing's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then we go back to Akuro and we're like, I look like an asshole, you know? And he's like, sorry. The next day, Nobunaga returns. Oh my god, Akuro's coming with us? Alright, you know the drill. Time for the rules and code of conduct for real-world travel. Not again. Who cares? Hurry up and let me go to Akihabara. No can do, Hajun. Today we have Akuro joining us. First time, right, Akuro? Indeed. Thank you for explaining everything. Why? We met at Azuchi Castle, went through Nakakuni, past the Kokuromon, yeah, all the way to the shrine, and I still couldn't help but feel surprised. Rule number 1, don't touch anything. Humans can't see you, and it'll just look like stuff's floating in the air. Oh, humans can't see them. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's why we're going. So when we talk, we'll be like, what is it that you wanted to see? Okay, you want this. Okay, so I don't look like a crazy person talking to myself. I'm talking to Yakumo. Got it. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I will be careful. Oh, and if you brought anything from Sakuratani, it'll be invisible, so don't worry about that. Rule number 2, don't talk to humans. I don't need to explain this, do I? Besides, if anyone can hear you, I'm sure Special Agency will recruit him soon enough. Who cares? Hajun. Hajun was starting to act like a spoiled child, and Akuro spoke to him like one, while Akuro himself was trying to listen to Yakumo intently. Like, his sprite, when it's like this, Hajun's like actually hot. You're like, I love him, he's kind of pretty. And then like his normal sprite, you're like, eh. It's not like he's unattractive, it's just like, I just like this sprite version of him better. I think this is the more attractive sprite for him. But I love that he's a whiny fucking man-child. No, I don't want to date you. But like, you're kind of fucking funny. And you're a pain in my ass. And I low-key hate you a little just for existing and being a spoiled, whiny man-child. But like, it's kind of funny also. And that's it. Let's follow the rules and have a nice time. Hajun, here's the catalog you asked for. Oh! Going over the rules only lasted a few minutes, and Hajun's mood worsened, but Yakumo fixed it in a flash. This is very educational. Yakumo came with me this time, but I wasn't sure if he'd be around next time. As a new hire, I have to be paying attention to how he handles this situation, but... Akuro, come! You check this out too! Okay. I thought it would be Shuten or Ibaraki. I wonder why he chose to come. Because I said, I wish it were you. And he's like, I love you too. I just couldn't help but be curious. We sure were lucky. Who'd have thought Akuro would come? I guess it was because I was staring at Hajun and Akuro reading the catalog. Yakumo happily approached me. Right. And to be honest, since I talked with Tokatsugu, I was anxious. With this, I feel comfortable. I know. I felt relieved too, but I still remember how Akuro looked when I said I wished he'd come. I was honestly worried that he forced himself to come. That anxiety was greater than my joy. We'll talk about it later. Sotomusen. It never gets old. I'm tingling with excitement. We arrived at the electronics store that Hajun always went to. He grinned as soon as we arrived, staring at the items before him. Hey, Yakumo, hold this tablet. This? This is a good item. The catalog was right. Have you installed Monster Go-Go? I think it's on here. It's a popular game. Oh, there it is. I need to make sure I stand as close as I can to Yakumo so it doesn't look like he's talking to himself. See? Exactly. Before we came, I learned how important it was to walk in pairs when traveling with Ayakashi. I went over to stand near Yakumo. Akuro was next to me, looking around the store. The size of this store is amazing. It carries so many items, and that alone is an interesting sight. This is big even by real-world standards. I'm pretty overwhelmed by its size, too. And there are just so many things here, I feel like I could lose track of time. You're right there. Tablets, toys, board games. You should be able to find most of that here. And that's truly amazing. To be honest, this wasn't the conversation I wanted to have with him. Oh, both of us. But I like how it's Akuro and Akitsu instead of, like, Spacey. Oh, no, this is awkward. I wonder why. I can't seem to get it together in front of Akuro. It's almost depressing. I'm sorry, you first, Akuro. Oh, no, you first. There I go, making him feel awkward again. Okay, don't mind if I do. If I hold back now, I'll never be able to ask him. Are you doing okay? What do you mean? Well, I might be wrong, but I thought that maybe you didn't really like to travel here, to the real world. You've noticed. What? I never would have thought to come to the real world if you hadn't brought it up. However, I changed my mind. You did? Yes. Akuro gave a soft smile and fell silent, satisfied with his answer. Is that all? Is that strange? You were like, I wish it were you, and he was like, and then he's like, I came because you suggested it, because you said you wanted it to be me. Anyway. No, absolutely not. It's not strange at all, but... You mentioned wanting me to go. I hoped it would help reassure you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew my slip-up was when why he came. I immediately felt guilty again. It's kind of cute, though. You were like, I want you to be there, and he's like, I came because you wanted me here. Like, oh, idiots. And there's no need to apologize, and that really was all it took. And besides, I can't act like a spoiled child and avoid the real world forever. Akuro, but because he said something about, like, I'm gonna kill all humans, like... So you wonder if he was an Aki at some point, like, ages and ages ago, you know what I mean? And then, like, ended up in Sakuratani, has been there for so long that the real world's drastically changed, but he's still, like... That's why he doesn't go to the real world, because he's like, I'm afraid if I go, I'm gonna start killing people. You know? I mean, who knows? Or, you know, just like Shiratsuki had, like, bad people that hurt the person that he cared about, like his master that he cared about. And he was like, people are awful! And something like that happened to Akuro, and he's like, I'm gonna kill them all! And he's like, if I go to the real world, I might kill them all. You know? You're like, you know that person that I really hate? If they're at that party, I might punch them. So I kind of hope they're not at the party. And you're like, probably wouldn't punch them just because I don't want to, like, get in trouble, like, with the cops or anything like that for punching them. I don't want them to punch me, but, like, the temptation's real. You know? Like, you're like, but I'm not sure. I might get so pissed. I'm going to say something. Anyway, maybe I imagined it, but Akuro did look like someone who was very satisfied with his decision. I almost wanted to apologize to him one more time, but it looks like Akuro doesn't even want an apology. Oh, were you able to bring some beans? Yes. Yakumo and I got some beans, and we figured we could practice using spells on them. I see. And then if push comes to shove, I can leave the situation to the both of you and focus on apprehending Hajun. So, Akuro didn't come here just to enjoy himself? I'm happy Akuro feels comfortable talking to me, but I couldn't help but doubt this, maybe because Akuro and Seimi were good friends. After some time, Hajun went to look at the games, and I separated from Akuro and Yakumo to find some souvenirs for the other Ayakashi. So I can buy some massagers for the water department Kappa. Apart from home goods, I browsed through aromatic oils, cozy blankets, and stress relief products when something popped up into my vision. A kitty pillow? Akuro would love this. For Akuro, huh? The voice made me jump. There stood Hajun, smirking at me. I rushed to look around the store to make sure no one was around. Hajun, weren't you at the game corner with Yakumo? And where did Akuro go? Akuro was nowhere to be seen. Beats me. Maybe they got lost. It seems like Hajun is the one who's lost. But I'm glad he found me. If we had lost him, we would have been in trouble. Anyways, answer my question. Do you plan on giving this to Akuro? Oh, this pillow? I was thinking you may like it. If only this new pillow would do the trick. But it's going to be a lot harder than that. His heart is still wrapped up in his past. Look how Hajun's like looking off in the distance as he says this. What? Hajun poked at the kitty pillow that I had picked up. You're like, I'm not trying to win his heart. Am I? Oh, maybe I am. The area that Hajun poked made an indentation, and I realized that he wasn't really talking to me in particular. He feels a certain way about the real world. Whenever it comes up, his mood changes. I didn't want my sharpest eye to be in such a bind, so I thought I might force him to come here and obtain some closure. There's some memory of the real world he cannot let go of. It's proof that he and I really lived. Nothing that can be forgotten so easily, but we lived. There's pain and regret that can never be resolved. But maybe you can help. Well, are you actually being nice and sentimental right now? Oh. Wow. Because he's normally such a whiny, bratty little man-child, and now he's like, maybe you can help him forget that horrible past, because we once lived and it's painful. Are you a whiny, bratty man-child because you have, like, some unresolved issues about having been alive as a human and then transformed into an Oni, and then, like, you haven't quite gotten over it yet? You need some therapy? Oh, let's get a therapist in here so he stops being a whiny, bratty man-child. I felt like Hajun was saying this to himself rather than to me. I didn't understand what he meant. But... I won't forgive them. I'll destroy all humans. I apologize. I must have been having a dream. A memory? I mean, we knew that, I think. Players. I can't believe I haven't noticed all this time. Akuro doesn't want to come back and be reminded of his nightmares. That must be it. I'm bored. Excuse me? It's boring to stare at useless sleep products. I'm leaving. What? Hajun said that much and started to walk off. Hey, Hajun, you can't walk off on your own! If the Makatsui Shirei got lost in the real world, it'd be the biggest incident in the history of the Sixth. I had to make sure I wouldn't lose sight of Hajun while not looking like a crazy person talking to herself. I ran up to him. Nobunaga's ambitions? He happened upon a game about himself. Hajun stopped and stared at the package. Yakumo, there he is. Found Hajun. He's gonna buy that board game and it's gonna be so weird. Oh, thank God! I'm glad you were with him. Oh, Yakumo and Akuro. Were you looking for him this whole time? Sorry, I should have told you. It's fine. Thanks for keeping an eye out. I appreciate that a lot. Hajun gets squirrely when he's bored. I'm sorry. I should have been paying attention. And there was this stuffed cat that looked so real I couldn't seem to look away. Akuro was playing with the plushies. I love him. Akuro, look at this game. It's a game about when I ruled the world. Whether now or in the past, mankind has always yearned for a leader like me. Oh, there it is. Nobunaga's ambitions. I'm sure it's a dude, but whatever. Whoa. Amazingly, two college-aged boys started walking into the store and stood precisely next to Hajun as they looked at the game. Okay, look! Girls like board games too! Let's not be sexist. Hajun, you can't! Ignoring Akuro's warning, Hajun picked up the Nobunaga's Ambitions game on display. Whoa, what the heck? It's floating! Look! The Nobunaga you seek has returned! Hear my resurrected voice! Fuck. Uh-huh. Nobunaga, you're messing with me. This is a prank, right? One of the startled boys jumped back. The other boy's eyes grew wide in shock, opening and closing his mouth wordlessly. What? Wait, can they see? No. They can hear his voice and are recognizing Hajun as Nobunaga. I've got to stop Hajun right away. Rejoice! I'll make you my minions. My army's now full of Oni, better than my ult. Stop it, Hajun. Ah! He must have heard Akuro. The boy dragged his friend and started to run. Help! Nobunaga's ghost! There's an army of Oni! He screamed and bolted out of the store. You would really, seriously just be like, wow, that's a really fucked up display, I'm leaving. You would scream like that. Akuro, it was just getting interesting. Why did you get in the way? Hajun, you'll no longer be allowed to come to the real world. What? He did all of that without remorse. I understand how hard it is to be with Hajun in the real world now. Yakumo, we can't let that whole situation slide, right? I don't know. This is all new to me. But it's not like we can run after them and erase their memories either. That's right. In the end, the only thing we could have done was just to leave them be. The commotion, Chapter 5. Yakumo, Hajun, Akuro, and I wanted to avoid causing more trouble, so we returned to Sakuratani earlier than planned. I'm pretty sure it was Yakumo, Akuro, and I wanted to avoid causing a commotion, so we dragged Hajun back while he whined the whole fucking way like a toddler. That was Yakumo, not me. Yakumo, I'm so sorry. If only I acted more quickly. Nah, it's okay. It was out of our control. Not even Akuro was able to stop him. It's just that Not reporting this to Tokitsugu would be even worse, so I'll tell him, okay? Of course, yeah, it would be worse not to tell him. Hey, you guys are back already. Ah! Sammy walked into the office and looked at us with a smile. Yakumo and I both shrunk down a bit. Hello, Tokitsugu. We have something to report to you. Sammy maintained a smile, and cutting Yakumo off, he turned his laptop around for us to see. It's already news. It was the headline of an article reading, Nobunaga's ghost invades Akihabara in bold letters. Amazing as always. You already know. He's like, oh, good, we don't know. Okay, anyway, bye. I mean, the ghost of Nobunaga. Amazing. It's funny. Spacey, read it. The fact that he's laughing about this. He's like, this is gold. Okay. Two students this evening claim that the ghost of Nobunaga descended into the streets of Akihabara with an army of Oni. It's kind of funny. At the real world. Meanwhile, the Sakuma squad was investigating a horrific case involving an Aki, but they weren't having much luck unearthing new clues. Oh my god, I get it. Norton, fuck off. Goddamn pop-ups are irritating as shit today. It's like pop-up, 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 pop-up. Go away! Nobunaga descended into the streets of Akihabara with an army of Oni. They clung to passers-by, causing a panic, and were later arrested under suspicion of narcotics use. Their drug test results were negative. Huh. I recall the Six saying that they were taking an Oni into the real world. How lucky are those Ayakashi babysitters? Must be nice. Okay, seriously, why does everybody hate us and gotta get all up in our shit? Stay out of my fucking panty drawer, Jesus. They're like, they want to climb up my butthole. Like, get out of here. What is your problem? Like, seriously? The other dude and his fucking son and this asshole, like, God. Squad leader Sakuma was clearly irritated after a subordinate read the news. Forget it. Any news on the Aki? Any relevant news? No, local police know to get us on any pertinent information as soon as it comes in. There's nothing new besides this Akihabara thing. Squad leader, permission to speak. You haven't shut up this whole time. We still haven't determined whether our target is an Ayakashi or a spirit. I think it's still too early to do an investigation on the... Did I give you permission? A rookie thinks he can tell me how to conduct this investigation? Okay, let's hear it, genius! All of the squad members looked toward him, and the new hire went pale. The man's face looked drained. Oh, I'm sorry. Now your place. I'm gonna have to mentor you. But to do that, I'll tell you one thing. We're not wasting time on a ghost. Our target's gonna be... Oh. Squad leader, target sighted in Ueno. Ueno. I've seen her. A civilian was abducted and they've just lost track of the target. What? An abduction on our watch? We're heading over now. Get the Six to give us any and all information on the Sakuratani Oni. Understood. Understood. Ueno, huh? Ueno, huh? Close to Akihabara. Upon hearing the report, Sakuma's already irritated eyes were illuminated with a new idea. An Oni could be manipulating another Oni. Oh my god, they're gonna blame it on Hajun. He's just a whiny man baby. He's not, well, I mean, at one point, yes, I get it. It's because of his past, but now he's just whiny and kind of useless. Like, see, look, this man is Nobunaga Oda, our boss when he was human.
Wow, really? He looks so different.
That's to be expected. The person who created this game has never met him before, and they must think he looked this way. Yes, the real Hajun is more handsome, and his face isn't bad though. But this mustache and bun, I don't like it. Oh, your next real world visit? Why not go see the game creator? Show them your face. If you talk like last time, I'm sure... Shooten, if we break the rules again, they say even the boss will be punished.
Punished? Are the Ayakashimori saying that? That's mighty big to threaten Hajun like that.
No, the Ayakashimori scolded him a little, but it's our brother who said he'd punish him.
Oh.
We're like, oh. The day after the debacle in the real world, I listened to the Ayakashi playing with their new games as Akuro brought me tea. Spacey, Thank you for visiting. Oh, don't worry about it. I wanted to apologize about yesterday. You don't need to apologize. I heard you two were reprimanded afterward. It's true that we couldn't stop him, despite it being our job to oversee him. I like the fact that Sammy was like, this is a goddamn riot! I'm gonna have to write you two up, but it's still fucking hilarious. We let our guard down because Akuro was with us, but that was our fault. He shouldn't have to apologize to either of us. Well, I didn't think everyone would like Nobunaga's ambitions so much. I wanted to change the subject, so I looked over at the Ayakashi enjoying themselves. We brought some of the Ayakashi a variety of toys, games, and even a tablet. Nobunaga's Ambitions was the most popular by far. Who could have thought a weird simulation game would be so popular? Oni can be so unpredictable. But he did stay within the budget, and the Ayakashi are happy, so all could be forgiven. And we've never seen a game featuring Nobunaga, so it's a new experience for them. It was truly unexpected. We didn't get to go to the board game shop Hajun was excited about, so I'm just glad we found something they like. Wait, where is Hajun? I don't see him around. Is he out? Hajun is currently cleaning the treasure hall of his own volition. What? Hajun is cleaning? Yes, he insisted. Anyone could tell that this was something Akuro forced him to do. What the Warring States Shogun Ibaragi. Hey, why are you in this game? In Nobunaga's Ambitions, you can input any name of your choosing, as well as customizing your skills and appearance. Oh, so it's an online. I thought it was a board game. So it must be a computer game. I honestly thought it was a board game, and then I was like, what? That's amazing! And then make a Shuten too! Fine. Shogun Shuten, HP 80, Intelligence 0, Political Power 0. There are too many zeros! What does this mean? I just tell it like it is. Screw you! Make them all 100!
Whoa! Fight! Fight!
Gosh! Stop it, guys! If you fight, that will mean the end of your game, and you can help Hajun. Are we clear? Akuro approached the rowdy Ayakashi, intimidating Shuten and Ibaragi enough for them to stop. Fine, Shuten. Intelligence, political power, 32. And despite it being really 0 in real life. How's that? I told you to make it 100, you thank you, Ibaragi, my best friend. You Can't believe the game went there. I don't know why that's so unexpected. You you best friend of mine. They were about to fight a moment ago, but now they were laughing together. Incredible, Akuro. It happens all the time. If this is how things are going, I suppose Hajun will no longer break the rules. The Nobunaga, the Shirei of Makatsui, can be forced to clean the treasure hall with just a word from Akuro. When Sammy flipped his laptop around and showed us the news, I felt the blood drain from my face. I didn't know what to expect, but luckily all we got was a warning. It didn't end up being as bad as I thought. Because Sammy and fucking Tokiwa are laughing their asses off about it.
Well, stuff happens. They happen to meet a civilian with the ability to perceive Ayakashi.
I see. How should we have dealt with that?
Ignoring them would have been good. I try to make them feel crazy for thinking they can actually see. Otherwise, we'll remain silent. If they lose their cool, we just say they were hallucinating and no one questions it. Just like in this case.
I see.
You and Tadashi handled it just fine. Hajun breaking protocol by grabbing the game wasn't a good idea, though.
I will be careful of that in the future. Like, maybe we should never let Hajun go to the real world. He is a fucking loose cannon. Then why was Sammy acting the way he did? Seriously, I think I lost 5 years of my lifespan from that smile of his. Knowing him, he probably put that act on to scare Yakumo and me. And so I heard that you and Yakumo got in trouble for Hajun's actions. You two did nothing wrong. I truly apologize for the trouble. Oh, not at all. Huh? Did I tell you that I got scolded? And Tokitsugu forwarded the news. The thing from the internet. And he sent me a message that he made you two write an apology report. Oh, I see. Oh, hey! You can send messages now! Thanks to you. I'm getting used to it little by little. Oh, not at all. It's because you practiced. He tells me I sound cool when I send him messages, though. Maybe you can teach me again. He tells me I sound cold when I send him messages. Maybe you can teach me again. Is that okay? Of course. If you think I can help, I'd love to. Thank you. Seimi and Akuro must really be close. I don't know exactly how that happened, but hearing the contents of the messages, they really do sound like friends. Shuta and Ibaragi treat him like a big brother, more than a close friend, and Hajun... He's been with Akuro for such a long time, I'm sure they understand one another. Judging by what he said yesterday... He feels a certain way about the real world. Whenever it comes up, his mood changes. I didn't want my sharpest eye to be in such a bind, so I thought I might force him to come here and obtain some closure. There is some memory of the real world he cannot let go of. It's proof that he and I really lived. Nothing that can be forgotten so easily, but... we lived. There's pain and regret that can never be resolved. And maybe you can help. It's like so funny for him to have that touching moment where he's like, and you're like, were you on drugs in that moment? Like, you just, instead of like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go wreak havoc and be an asshole. And it's like, what? It wasn't like the usual Hajun I knew who seemed so carefree. He was serious and, intelligent. Which I'm sure in the real world at one point he was, but then he got here and now it's like, fuck all. He's like lost some brain cells. It's not that he's not intelligent, he just acts like a fucking idiot. It's different. I think Hajun's word has something to do with the time when Akuro and I spoke about the Aki. Maybe he, you know what I mean? Well, then again, Hajun makes it sound like he was a human once. But maybe he wasn't if he was always like an Oni that was like living in the real world and then people were attacking me. He's like, it's not always us, bitch! Horrific, huh? I guess you have a point. That was the moment his eyes turned cold. I've never seen Akuro like that. Is something the matter? Oh! I snapped out of it hearing Akuro's voice and rushed to answer. Nothing! I'd like to message you too. I feel like I'd like to message you too should be the right answer. Are we in chapter 6 already? Oh, I guess we are. I'd like to message you too. I'd like to message you too. What? Akuro looked stumped and stared at me. Then he nodded. Did we not get him the kitty pillow? Yes, messages. I don't mind. But I only send messages when necessary. Is that alright with you? The messages can be about anything. I just want to talk to you. I was desperate to talk about something mundane to escape my growing depression. Anything you say. Yes, what happened during your day, things you're collecting. It'll be good practice to type it all out. Whatever it is you want to talk about, Akuro, I'd love for you to message me. I tried to play off my embarrassment, but I could feel my cheeks starting to burn. I still feel guilty hearing about his past behind his back. At the Firefly Garden, I unintentionally discovered the secret burden Akuro bore. It's not like I want to reveal a secret, but if possible, I want to keep him from feeling those moments of pain. I want to be of help so he won't think about it, even for a minute. I'd like that too. Huh? Oh, nothing. Please send me messages too. It would not do for me to be the only one messaging. Oh, yes, of course! I took out my device and started typing a message when Akuro silently reached over. We've got the little kitty charm. That's so cute. And this is the ornament from before. He lifted up the cat charm I had on my device. Oh, yes, I'm using it as a strap for my phone. Strap? People use them as decoration or to keep from dropping their phones. You can use most things you like as an accessory. I showed him how to hold it as I explained. Akuro took out another small ornament. And could you put this on my device as well? Oh my god, we're gonna have matching straps. Oh my god, it's love. We're totally in love now! We did this in Shiraishi's route. Wasn't it in Color X Melons? Right? We had like the little we had matching kitty straps. It's totally love at this point. Anyway, of course! I took it from him and wove it through the small hole on his phone. Akuro seemed impressed. I mean, I have ones like that. I have my little, I used to have my old phone, because the headphone jack was on the top. I had a little headphone plugs. You plug it in the headphone jack. It was still strapped to my phone in case it popped out of that, but now mine, it's just dangling on the side because it can't dangle from the top. But I've got my little screen cleaner with Saito from Hakuoki, and then I've got my little cup charm that is you're supposed to just put on the edge of a glass. So I always have a glass charm with me, like of Ai from Utano Prince-sama. So I have my little charms on my phone too, but like, anyway, they don't plug into my headphone jack because my headphone jack's on the bottom, so it'd be a pain in the ass. And the holes are on the right side of the phone, where I can put my little strap on, and then the headphone jack's on the left, so it just wouldn't work. Anyway, I took it from him and wove it through the small hole in his phone. Akuro seemed impressed. So this hole was meant for people to put something like this in it. Yes, a lot of older phones have it, but for newer models, a case or a covering can be used to go with it. And that's where you put the thing on, because phones don't have the holes, but the cases sometimes do. A covering. Yes, to keep the device from getting scratched, or from getting broken if you drop it. There's so many types out there. Is that something I can put on my device? Sure, there are different kinds for each type of phone. I'm not sure I can find a catalog, so I'll just send you photos of them. Thank you. Akuro smiled happily, and the sight made me want to make him smile more. I'll be sure to send you a message, okay? Like pictures of cats I see in the real world. That's kind of you. I would be so happy. Oh, and when you can't sleep, sometimes it helps to talk to someone. Sure, and then I'll be sure to contact you too. Oh my god, this is adorable. Akuro laughed and nodded. Oh. Secret lovers, we don't even know we're in love yet. Email. I returned to my dorm and got ready to sleep. Huh. I noticed my phone got a message. And you're like, is it Akuro? Oh, it's fucking Sammy. I'm just kidding. Who would message me at this hour? I opened my device and saw an unexpected name displayed on my phone. Are you awake? Even though it was just a short message, the fact that he sent it to me made me happy. Yeah, still awake. Late night, huh? I sent it back immediately. You're like, let's go meet under the Fujizakura tree. He hasn't responded. Maybe he fell asleep. 10 minutes passed in a flash. I checked my phone over and over, waiting on a new message. I wanted to send him a photo of a cat. I know Akuro would like it. Oh, that must be him now. As soon as the message came, I immediately opened it up. Oh. K. It's just K. Took him 10 minutes to do that. I couldn't sleep. Took a walk. And thought I might see you. Decided to send a message. Because that's all he could type. And it took him 10 minutes. What? Was I reading this right? His message style was abrupt, like he said. Well, it's just because he's getting used to it. Akuro. The message didn't end there. There was more. I continued reading slowly. But I feel better now after seeing your message. It makes me happy when you think of me. Even a little. Did someone steal his phone and are they pranking me? Because, like, yeah, Sammy tells me sounds cold. I don't know, this sounds a little romantic to me. Stilted, but, like, still romantic. I think I can sleep now. I see. After reading Akuro's message, I realized something. I don't only think about Akuro a little. I think of him a lot. Oh, music. I want Akuro to sleep well, and I don't want him to have any nightmares. If he had asked me to come meet him, I would have hurried over as fast as I could. That's how much I like him. Oh. As soon as I realized it, my hands got shaky. I like the fact she's like, oh, fuck! It always hits you like a brick, doesn't it? You're like, oh! I'm glad. That makes me happy, too. Hope you can get a good night's sleep. What she should have put is like, if you ever want to talk or meet or, in person, just let me know and I'll be there. I chose the usual words to be safe, and I sent a photo I had saved of a cat napping under the sun. This time he responded immediately. Yes, good night. It was just that. I couldn't keep myself from smiling, and I buried my face into the sofa cushion. I see. I like him, huh? How come I didn't notice this before? 'Cause we're all idiots. I can't really blame her, 'cause I would be me. You'd be like, Oh, fuck, I'm in love with you. Oh, shit, where'd that come from? Living an abnormal life in a weird environment made me too busy to notice. But none of that matters. Somewhere in Sakuratani, Akuro was feeling a little better about falling asleep. Just thinking about that made me so happy. I hear you. You be quiet. Well, I mean, you can chirp, but don't scream. No screaming. Okay? I visit you in a little bit. Chapter 6, Tiny Joy. The day after I realized my feelings for Akuro, I came into the office at 3 p.m. to start my shift. I kept checking my phone. He hasn't messaged me yet. Before I left for work, I sent Akuro a message to say good morning. It was still early. It was around the time the Ayakashi would start waking up, but maybe Akuro was still asleep. He's trying to figure out how to respond. My phone received a message. It was a response from Akuro. I didn't notice the photo. So cute. He was still getting used to messaging, but the response from him made me happy. I'm glad he liked the photo of the cat. What do I say to keep this going? I like this. She's like, shut up, Yakumo. I'm trying to figure out how to cook this man. And he's like, what? Nothing. I was so focused on the message, I didn't notice Yakumo was standing behind me. I was thrown off so much that I jumped. Good morning, Yakumo. What's the matter? Huh? What? I was wondering if I was acting that suspiciously. Right now you are. Your face is red. Oh, are you texting someone that you have a crazy big crush on? I do the same thing when I text Kinka. I mean, what? Nothing? Yakumo put his bag on his desk and moved his chair over to me. I like how Yakumo's like, Shwing! So, who is it? What? Why do you say that? Yakumo gave a big smile. I could tell. You were clutching your phone, fixed on the screen. When I called you, you were so startled that you jumped up. I was just deep in thought and you surprised me. Oh, sure. Hey, I know how it goes. I'm in the same boat. Yakumo spoke with confidence, and I felt like denying it would only make it worse. Is someone you like? Tokitsugu! You're like, what? I thought he was super sharp, but I immediately felt comfortable because maybe it wasn't the case. So it's not Tokitsugu, huh? Then, it's not me, is it? God, no, Yakumo. Can we just give him a look? And he's like, yeah. Is it Akuro? It is Akuro. That's great. He's a really nice guy. You have my support. Support? I mean, I do like him, but I only just realized my feelings, and I haven't thought much further ahead than that yet. Okay, well, let's take some time and let those feelings simmer. But if you do get to the point where you want to take it to the next level, I'm all for it. Sure, thanks. Yakumo's powerful words made me smile. I just realized that I have feelings for Akuro. I never really thought about what I wanted to do about it. I do like the fact that he's like, oh my god, you like Akuro? And she's like, yeah, I kind of do. And he's like, that's cool. And like, she's just, instead of being like, what? No, I'm going to hide it. I'm not talking about it. She's like, yeah. Like, Yakumo's our bro. That's so cute. I think it was a really subtle start, but I like the fact that it's not like, I have to hide it. It's like, no, I'm totally into him. But I just figured this out. And Yakumo's like, cool, I'm here if you need my support, man. These are good friends we have. Good friends and our coworkers. Anyway, I really did find him intimidating at first. Rather, I wasn't sure we were compatible as even just chatting peoples, as acquaintances. But as I spent more time in Sakuratani, I felt like I spent a lot of time with Akuro. We did. Seeing his sad look, his hard and cold expression, his kind face when he laughs. For now, I'd be happy if Akuro could have happier days than he has now. I just hope he laughs a lot, that's all. But if these feelings grow stronger and I start hoping for more, then I guess I'll remember Yakumo's advice and find my courage in it. There's no rush. If I'll be continuing as an Ayakashimori, I'll be seeing Akuro. What do I want to do? I'll spend time to figure that out. Just when I made that decision... Good morning. What are you talking about? Whoa! Yakumo jumped at Sami's entrance more than I did, probably because of the relentless teasing he'd endured for his crush on Kinka. Good morning! We were just having a normal conversation, no one talking about secrets here. Well, that's not gonna help. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. I see. Sammy was a master of reading people. It was doubtful we could deceive him, but I still had to try. Well, you were like, what? No, normal conversation, no secrets. I mean, if you what? Huh? What? No. Oh, we were just talking about dinner last night. You know what I mean? Oh, we were just talking about those guys in the Hajun thing. It was awkward. We were just reliving the awkwardness. But when you're like, no secrets, and it's like Sammy's not gonna figure out you're talking about secrets. Come on, seriously. He's not that. I mean, you're like, he's a master at reading people. Also, you basically just told him you have a big ass fucking secret. So, I'm just saying, he doesn't have to be a fucking genius. This is bad. I knew that if Sammy ever found out about my feelings, I'd basically have to apologize to Akuro in advance of the teasing to follow. Can I play it off?
Listen, I already figured it out as soon as I saw you using the ornament Akuro gave you for your little phone strap.
No way. Huh? Oh, that strap was from Akuro? You two have matching ones? That's so cute. You noticed, huh? He picked up the cat charm right away. My face flared up in embarrassment. You're like, I didn't even know then. That's the funny thing. Sometimes people know before you do. Okay. We had a friend in high school, and we were all like, pretty sure he's gay. But, like, whatever. He's in the class. Fine. Whatever. And then, like, one day I ran into him, like, years later, college, whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I'm gay. And I'm like, yeah, we all knew in high school. He's like, I didn't know in high school. And we were like, well, you were the last to know. We all knew. It was obvious to everyone except for you, apparently. Like, sometimes you were actually the last to fucking know. Because you're in your head, and she's, like, doing all of this, and frickin' Sammy's over there like, nah, she's in love with Akuro. She'll figure it out. Like, it's not surprising. Like, not surprised at all.
Just as it was getting interesting. Alright, time to stop playing around and get to work. As usual, his timing's perfect.
I trust you're all working hard in here. We're hardly working, boss! I mean, wait. Sammy's shoulders slumped slightly, and he motioned the chief over to the sofa. We walked up to him and let him talk. So, the murder investigation under the first, they've determined the target is an Oni. What? Really? Do they have a witness? No, I don't believe so. Someone from the first is coming at 7 p.m. I'm sure they'll be asking for our cooperation, so be on your best sixth behavior. So, haze them, pants them, and tie them to a tree? Exactly.
We've got it under control, Itsuya. Are you two okay with that?
Yes, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I can help, but if I can be of service, I'll do my best.
What? We specialize in Ayakashi, guys. We're gonna make Division 1 owe us big time since they can't seem to take care of this.
Sammy's tone was light, but I was on the same page as Yakumo. Aki, an Oni who does harm to humans. Their horns are bigger than an Oni's, and it's said that their grudges against humans are such that it's difficult to subdue their anger. That was what I discovered in my research after hearing that we might help the first. There were details about Shuten and Ibaragi, but I didn't know how much of the information was true without having witnessed it myself. But even thinking back to the incident Tokitsugu shared with us, I couldn't help but think about the Aki being angry and holding grudges. Realization. We got on with our usual work. He said our meeting would be at 7 p.m., so I set an alarm. I checked to see if my battery was charged and made sure my phone wasn't on silent, but then I noticed a big shadow. Texting while walking is dangerous, Spacey. Huh? What? My voice came out higher than I realized. It was the second time today that I was so focused on something that I overreacted to the sudden interruption. I'm sorry for being so loud. You look so serious. I just wanted to surprise you a little. Did I overdo it? We sure were successful at it. As resentful as I was when it happened, I couldn't stay mad seeing how happy he looked. So, is the photo you sent me yesterday in the same spirit as the kitty pillow? What? Hajun told me that you were thinking of buying me a pillow in the real world. If I could use those sleeping cats as pillows, I'm sure I'd sleep better, though I would feel wrong resting on them. Oh, yeah. If only this new pillow would do the trick, but it's going to be a lot harder than that. His heart is still wrapped up in his past. There's just some memory of the real world he cannot let go of. It's proof that he and I really lived. Nothing that can be forgotten so easily, but I swear to God, I'm having flashbacks to freaking games that have constant flashbacks. You know which one I'm talking about if you've been here recently. But like, holy fucking shit, is this is the route where just every fucking other line is a flashback? I get it. We've read this 6 times now. Can we stop? Like, stop with the flashbacks. We lived. There's pain and regret that can never be resolved. But maybe you can help. Yeah, I get it. Like, all you had to do is be like, I thought back to the conversation with Hajun. Which one? Oh, right. The one that we've now, in the last 2 parts, seen 6 times. I think it's been like 3, but still. Hajun told Akuro. The things Hajun told me came back to mind, and I didn't know how I could answer Akuro right now. Sorry, I couldn't buy that pillow. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I was only kidding. I didn't mean to imply that you should buy me one. Oh, right. Sorry for being weird about it. Did you hear something from Hajun? Oh. I couldn't shake my head no. I don't want to reveal his secret. I don't want to pry if he doesn't want to share. That was the honest truth. Spacey. Oh. I realized I had been looking down silently and couldn't see Akuro's expression. I quickly looked up and saw Akuro looking at me with the gentlest gaze. Would it be okay if you and I talk in private? Are you going to tell me your story? Goddamn beautiful man. He took me to his room. Thoughts of the real world. Akuro took me to a different area of Izuchi Castle than where we usually spoke. To my surprise, he took me to his room. Oh, hi. I know it's not for what we think. Oh, we're actually just going to talk. Oh, okay. Sorry, I invited you in, but I have no snacks. It's okay. The tea is delicious. Please don't worry about it. To be honest, I couldn't even taste the tea. Here I am making assumptions about a story someone told me, worrying about Akuro and making him worry about me. I feel so pathetic and embarrassed, and even in this situation, I'm still anxious about whether or not he would trust me. God, I'm so selfish. I slowly spoke up to break the long silence. The reason why I didn't buy you the pillow was because Hajun told me about you. I would be like, that's not the reason why we didn't buy it. The reason why I didn't get the pillow is because Hajun went ballistic and we had to make a bolt for it. So. Right. Akuro just nodded and gave a peaceful smile, as if he was urging me to continue. Well, I mean, we were all excited about buying the pillow, and then he poked it and said it wasn't going to help, and then it made me depressed. So then I didn't buy the pillow, but now I regret it. Akuro, Hajun mentioned that every time he mentions the real world, your mood changes, because your heart is stuck in the past. Like, he didn't tell me anything else, really, so. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. But when you told me you'd always listen to me, it made me happy. I'm sure there are some things you can't say or things you don't want to open up about. But if you're going to be worried about bad dreams, or if you're so afraid to sleep that you end up wandering around all night, then I just want to be with you and make your dreams better than they were before. Akuro, you've always been there for me ever since I arrived in Sakuratani. I want to honor that by being there for you. This is so beautiful. We're such a good little puppet, aren't we? Spacey. I'm so selfish. I was going to tell you, but I made you say it. I've been debating whether or not to tell you about this. What? Then... I know this story will be hard to hear, but will you listen? Do we have time? I don't know. I want to. Please tell me. I didn't realize my grip on my cat charm had gotten tight as we continued talking. You're choking the fucking Tsukumogami, Jesus. No matter what Akuro tells me, it won't change my opinion about him. But I don't know about him. I was most worried that he would regret that he told me something he didn't want me to know. The fact that he wants to tell you, though, is kind of cute and romantic. There was a period of time where I held grudges toward humans. And this is why I'm still alive, not as a human, but as an Ayakashi. I had mentioned it to you in the past, how people with deep grudges become Oni. I was talking about myself. Aww. So he was human once, okay. I mean, I feel like that's what Hajun was alluding to, but then you were like, maybe he, was just an Oni living in the real world. You know what I mean? Could have been either. Oh, wait. Okay. And those who bear deep grudges turn into Oni. It isn't so rare for a human to become one. See, that's a flashback that's warranted, because that was like the beginning of the fucking game. Akuro did mention it to me when we first met. It's been a few centuries since I became an Oni, but my grudges have yet to dissipate, and the smallest things remind me of them. Akuro crossed his arms across his chest, almost as if to restrain himself. About 100 years had passed since I moved to Sakuratani, and I went to the real world to find Tsukumogami. I thought it'd be alright because so much time had passed. It was a new era, but I almost lost my sense of self when I went. And despite looking so different, just seeing the people there caused a darkness to stir in my heart. I was overtaken by it. It gave a derisive smile that pained me. And the Ayakashimori accompanying me kept me from going rogue, but since then I haven't slept well. And the real world stirs up that anger in me. I get it, I get angry at the real world sometimes too. I stopped going to the real world. I avoided the subject completely, and it calmed down. Yet the nightmares persist. Akuro sighed a little, then gave me a faint smile. And that's why I never wanted to go to the real world. Every time Hajun would want to go, I had to deal with this. I knew it. The reason Akuro had nightmares was because of people. This has haunted his dreams for hundreds of years. This kind man that so many admired carried a feeling he couldn't forgive within him. It's true that I bore grudges toward humans, but it isn't you, the Ayakashimori, nor its people who live in the real world now. Oh, nor is it people who live in the real world now. It's just that I can't get over it. I felt like I shouldn't get over it. Akuro, I'm glad I went to the real world this time. And though there was the whole incident with Hajun, going to the real world with you was truly enjoyable, and I feel better now. Oh, we healed him! Like, we're magic! I mean, I'm sure it would have taken more time if the game was, like, longer and it wasn't, like, kind of fluffy, you know what I mean? But it's still nice. Akuro was so hurt by his connection to the real world that it made him ill. Hearing that he enjoyed himself with me made me want to cry. I know, right? That's beautiful. Oh, that's me. I'm glad you told me that. I'm sorry to bring to mind bad memories, and thank you for opening up to me. I'm sure you have your reasons for feeling that way about humans in the past. But if those thoughts are still in your mind, then it's okay. Those things still make you the person you are, Akuro. You're kind, dependable, and you take care of everyone in Makatsui. That's the side of you everyone knows you for. Thank you so much. You're so... Just then my alarm rang and I remembered that the first was going to be paying a visit. I don't mind. I'm sorry. There's a meeting about the Aki case. I have to go back. Aki, I see. Please be careful. Thank you. If only all of the Makatsui Oni were as kind as you, then we wouldn't be in this mess. When I said that, Akuro looked like he wanted to say something, but he just smiled peacefully at me and watched as I ran back to Nakakuni. Touching moment! He's like, look, there was shit in my past and I was so fucking mad I became an Oni and, like, still have issues. Yeah. Aw, we're in Akuro's mind now. Okay, but anyway, we're gonna do that in the next part because we're almost at time. We're gonna see his thoughts. His innermost thoughts. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.